Hey there, this is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, survivor, and advocate from danaarcuri.com. And today's message is something that comes straight from my heart to your heart. I don't know who needs to hear this today, but I am definitely believing that one or more people really need to hear this message. And so let's begin with today's topic is what's stealing your peace of mind? And so what brought this entire subject up for me was a recent vacation from Facebook. It was an experience that, like most other experiences that I've had in the past when I unplug from Facebook, it brings me an epiphany, revelations, and so much wisdom. It's amazing what happens when you step away from the drama and you just are still. You are quiet. You use discernment. You use listening to that little place within you, that soft voice. Sometimes it is soft. Sometimes the noise of our society is so loud and such a distraction that we can lose focus. And so I believe it's so essential to our healthy boundaries and our well-being to take little breaks, whichever form of social media that could be causing you a distraction. It could be causing you a lot of drama. It could be that people are overstepping your healthy boundaries. It could be that it has nothing to do with others. It's just what's going on in your own life that you need to take a little time out from the news media, from all the noise and all of the people who are trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I'm talking about. And it's so easy to get caught up in the scrolling through the news feed, looking at everybody's highlights. It's extremely distracting. Very, very unhealthy to do this 24/7 around the clock. For our own health, for our own mental health, for our own physical health, spiritual health, to really live a higher life of purpose and live up to our potential, we have to take time to step away, to get clarity, and to really awaken up to our reality. So, wow, I had such an amazing time this week. Quiet time, bird watching, listening to soft music, and journaling and writing out my intentions for March 2020, and really doing some brainstorming also on, what is my biggest passion and where do I need to put my energy? And there were just so many things that came up for me, just boom, 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 boom. The insights were just kind of flooding me. Things that I did not see, say, a year ago, a month ago, that now I see so much clearer. And it's extremely helpful. And I am just sharing what I've experienced, and I'm sharing a little nugget of wisdom from my home to your home, and hopefully this is something that will help you along your own healing journey, as well as living up to your full potential and protecting your healthy boundaries. So let's begin. So when we talk about what's stealing our peace of mind, we must really, really be careful, because sometimes we're so busy striving, running, living the rat race, that we can't even be aware of what is surrounding us because we're just so tuned out. So the first step is tune in to this moment, this very moment in time. Become mindful, to awaken to the presence, to understand what is going on around you. It could be what's going on in your home, what's going on in your workplace, what's happening in your relationships, what's going on with your physical health. Do you have chronic pain? Do you have depression? Do you have just brain fog? Are you struggling? Are you battling? Is there something that is just dragging you down? Because these are the important things that we need to become mindful of and to awaken to our present moment. Next is that we have to observe what is acceptable behaviors and what is unacceptable behaviors, what is acceptable words and actions. This brings me straight to, face-to-face relationships, long-distance online relationships. We must understand that there are times certain things, and it could be people, places, things, and oftentimes if we're not aware, we're just oblivious to it. But this is something to ask yourself. Currently, in this present state of mind, are you feeling burdened? Do you feel frustrated? Are you feeling drained and just burnt out? Do you feel like you're wrestling with something and maybe you're not even sure what it is? There's just some kind of negative energy around you and you just can't take it any longer? If so, we need to really observe what is happening, the behaviors, the words, what's coming out of our mouth, as well as what we're bringing in as far as what people are saying to us. And we must understand people that are toxic, that are narcissistic, and that are unhealthy for us typically have a repeated pattern of speaking negativity into us. And that is something, again, today we are going to release this negative energy. We're going to release and not bring into and accept the negative words, the ideas, the false beliefs that people have about us, because that is not our reality. That's not our understanding. That's not our perception. And we don't have to stand for that. We don't have to let this, coworkers, bosses, the narcissistic ex-spouse or the narcissistic parent, the flying monkeys, or just certain people who are on your news media feed who you happen to be following, or they're following you, perhaps your friends from afar or even close up. But just because they have an opinion that might be incorrect about you doesn't mean that you have to accept it or just have it weigh you down. And so I realized this week that I have awakened to some new truths, and they are not just about Facebook, but a lot is pertaining to that website in and of itself. But as a whole, it's even pertaining to all relationships. All the people who I engage with, say on YouTube, Twitter, and on Facebook, and even on my website, because there are so many people who reach out to me via DanaArcuri.com who write to me and comment, and they share with me what's helping them. Maybe there's something that I blogged about that really struck a bell for them. They're just like, whoa, it's like a aha moment, that moment in time when something really, really, really is aligning with you and your beliefs and everything you're going through. And so I have reached a place that I'm not wrestling anymore with Facebook. It used to be a love-hate relationship. It's a very dislike relationship now. I dislike Facebook. I dislike the drama. I dislike the tension. I dislike the negative energy that is surrounding it 24/7. It's not just Facebook as a whole, because as a whole, I have a problem that my privacy is not being placed on a priority for Zuckerberg. He doesn't care about our privacy. That's not even the gist of my whole beef with Facebook. It's the people on Facebook. It's the people on my friend list. It's the people who think that they could project their false beliefs onto me. They could lash out at me. They could say things that are really nothing to do with me, but everything to do with them, to do with their lack of compassion, their lack of empathy, their lack of even having the courage to focus on their own issues. So oftentimes people who have all kind of baggage, they would rather point the finger. They would rather point out everybody else's problems and everybody else's weaknesses and everybody else's issues instead of looking in the mirror and pulling the plank out of their own eye. Oh, I am onto something big now. So this week was, eye-opener for me. Eye-opener for me. And so this is what I've come to understand. And remember, now this is my own opinion based on my own experience. And mind you, I've been on Facebook for over a decade. So I don't know if it's been 11 years, 12 years. I have lost count because it's been that many years. But the point is this. The person who I was over a decade ago is not who I am today. I have been transformed. I have been on such an amazing journey, expanding myself, expanding my mind. I am a life learner. I am really into being resourceful and doing research, and I have shifted gears on my passions and my purpose and even what I write about and what I talk about. It has greatly changed. And so when I really take a good hard look at relationships, we have to think about Facebook. Facebook is about connecting with others. It's about sharing our stories. It's about being who we are. And yet when I am authentic, when I am transparent, when I am courageous and I put myself out there, I'm talking, I am there. I dress up. I show up. And I am as real will ever get. There's a lot of people on my friend list who can't handle it because they haven't dealt with their own issues. They may have trauma. They may have narcissistic abuse. They may have so much baggage that is such a burden for them that they're still not living in their reality. They're not in the present moment. They're not able to even deal with their own crap because they choose to be in denial. You know, we can't change people. We can't force people to awaken to the reality of the present moment. We cannot help people to become more compassionate and empathetic. You either are compassionate, loving, kind, and you have the fruit of the Spirit within you, or you don't. It's really that simple, my friends. And the one thing I learned this week when people were really saying some really malicious things to me on Facebook over a post where I was being very authentic, very vulnerable, very courageous, and keeping it real. It was pride. What was behind what they wrote was pride. And when we look at pride, pride is a sin. Pride is someone saying, I can't even look at your stuff. I can't even look at your stuff. So I'm going to use Christianese and I'm going to use platitudes and I'm going to throw my faith all over and vomit the Bible all over my comments to you because I am not going to deal with my crap. So I'm going to kind of focus on you and try to tear you down even though you're already down. So number one, let's learn when someone's down, we don't kick them down further because that's not what kind people, really wonderful, compassionate people do. You know, when someone's down, we lift them higher. When someone's down, we give them encouragement. And if we don't have any wisdom to give them, and if we don't have any words of empathy to speak to them, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Scroll on by. But the lesson learned is that it's not just one thing or two things or three things, 4 things, a dozen, 100, you get the point. There's just this long list of things going on with Facebook that have me extremely nauseated and they're overstepping my boundaries. So let's move forward with, I did some research this week and here's the research. The research is this. In the research, which I did find on YouTube, they stated on many credible YouTube channels that Facebook actually hired savvy tech people to take a good hard look and investigate Las Vegas gambling and how people get hooked on gambling and try to mimic that and use it for Facebook to get their members addicted to Facebook. And so what they're doing is they're using persuasive psychology to mess with your head. Basically, what happens is that every time someone likes, say you have a post and someone likes it, boom, you get a dopamine hit. Someone writes something nice to you, boom, you get another dopamine hit. Another person shares your post, another dopamine hit. It is just like cocaine, people. It is that addictive. Do your research. Don't just take my word for it. Advocate for yourself. Open up new doors of education and learning and really expanding your own reality so you can understand how Facebook works, what they're all about. It's not just about someone getting wealthy. No, 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 no. There's so much more. It's not just about power and control, which we already know that's another big deal. We already know that we have no privacy. We already know that there's a lot of things going on with the algorithms and what we don't see in the news feed and a lot of censorship. But we have to also understand that it's not really just Facebook. I'm not going to sit there and point a finger at Zuckerberg because it's about the people on my friend list. And someone could say, well, just get rid of them. I believe that this week what I've realized is that I've been on such an amazing transformational journey that I've changed, and Facebook's not home anymore. Facebook's not the place that I feel welcomed. Facebook's not the place where I could just be me. And because of that, I refuse to be anything less. I care and value myself enough to know when to walk away and to know that there are people on other platforms such as Twitter and YouTube who lift me higher, who support me, who advocate for me, who are there for me, who became friends with me, who engage with me in a very positive manner that is absolutely beautiful and amazing and has been life-changing for me. And so it makes sense, instead of wrestling with what's not working, to release it and to focus on what is working. And so we must ask ourselves, this whole thing with Facebook, what is it doing to our mental health? What is it doing to us? So let's talk about the statistics that I found out this week via another YouTube channel. Thank you, YouTube. I love you. Okay, statistics say that 40% of adults are struggling with adult bullying on Facebook. They have more depression, more isolation, more loneliness, more anxiety, and increased low self-worth and self-esteem. So there are people who are committing suicide over Facebook. Do your research. It is out there. We must understand that this isn't new. This isn't new. It's sad. It's horrifying. Who would think? Who would think that this would happen? But there is so much bullying and harassment, and I have experienced it for myself. And, that's one thing, blocking people, but when it gets to a point where it is just the negative energy on a constant basis, we have to step back. We have to take a good, hard look at, is this really a place for me to put my time and my energy and my talents and my resources? No, not really. Next is we have to understand that on Facebook, people do have a comparison trap. Constantly you're seeing someone who will post their new house, their new wonderful slim body, their new spouse, their new job, their new car, their wonderful vacation, and then so many people are looking at this highlight, okay, so they're scrolling through and they're seeing in the highlights on Facebook all these wonderful things. It's not real, people. This is not real life. You are getting a simple snapshot that is not telling you the whole picture. Because behind that new house, there could be domestic violence. Behind that new job, there could be someone harassing and bullying this new employee. Behind that vacation, there could be something really horrific that happened. Behind all the wonderful things, like the person who just lost weight, there could be someone who's actually battling bulimia. Okay, so we don't know the whole picture. We just get a teeny tiny glimpse. And so don't just buy into that smile you see on Facebook and instantly think that everybody's got such a better life than you, because they don't. It's not reality, it's fake. Next is we must understand that we cannot let other people, whether it's face-to-face people, your coworkers, your children, your mother, your father, your siblings, your neighbors, the people you are with, whether it's volunteer work, what have you, or people from afar, such as online, we cannot let other people, their false words and false beliefs, their negative energy, and the things they project onto us, because there's a lot of projection. It's not just a narcissist who uses projection. Remember, there's a lot of people who they do this. They project their inaccurate beliefs and their own experiences onto you. But we have to know this. They don't really know you. They don't know me. When I took a look at these people who were writing some nasty stuff on my Facebook page earlier this week, I don't even hardly know them. And they don't even hardly know me. And they don't know me face to face. I don't know them face to face. So what gives them the right to judge me? And that's what it comes down to. That people are judging, and they're judging from afar, and they don't even know the whole story. They don't know me. They don't know my family. They don't know my trauma, my abuse, my sexual assaults, the narcissistic abuse. They don't know anything. What gives them the right to tell me what to do and to dish out their inappropriate advice when I never asked for advice? So the whole point is, we're not looking for people to fix us. We're looking and hoping that they just listen. Just listen. We want to be heard. That's what it's about. So with social media, it's about relationships. It's about telling your story. And I'm an author, and I'm a speaker, and I tell my story. And yet on Facebook, I can't tell my story because they try to shame me. They try to blame me. They try to project their own crap that they haven't dealt with yet onto me. And they try to use a lot of Christianese. Oh boy. That's a whole other topic in itself that makes me nauseous. Let's move forward with, we cannot let others and their false perceptions of us dictate us, our lives, and how we feel about ourselves. Next is that this is something I took away today. It was kind of like the takeaway from being mindful, the takeaway from just praying and meditating and being still this week and bird watching and being out in nature and really listening for my own soft voice to speak to me, to give me this revelation. And here it is. We don't need to be everything to everybody because we can't. We're one person. There are people who might have unrealistic expectations of us. That's not our problem. They have to deal with their own stuff. We're not responsible for other people. I'm only responsible for me. You're only responsible for you. Next is, we have to really ask ourselves this important question, especially now as we're entering into a new month. And that is, where are we putting our time, our energy, our resources, our passion, our purpose? Where are we putting ourselves? Are we putting all this time and energy into something that's draining us, that's heavy, it's a burden, it's frustrating, it's making us feel sad or mad or depressed or just upset? Because be honest, there are times we walk away from Facebook, or we walk away from some other social media, or we walk away from even face-to-face relationships, let's keep it real now, and we're just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they said that to me. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm misunderstood again. And so I feel that we can't force people to hear us. We can't force people to change. Only we can change. And so my takeaway was that I need to make the change. I need to focus on where do I want to put my energy? Well, I want to put my energy in my talents and my passions and all the things I love and my creativity towards the things that are already working, and to keep my mind open for an opportunity that may come my way that I might not even know about right now. But hey, I am open to new horizons. Next is we have to understand, not everyone is supposed to be on social media all the time. There's so many other things we could be doing with our time and our lives and being productive. And time management is another real big topic, which I'm not going to go into, but really start looking at how much time you're spending online and how much time you're just scrolling and you're not even focusing. You're just kind of like mindless. You're not even mindful. And you lose track of what time it is. And before you know it, you realize you burnt your dinner, you didn't email your boss, and you're like behind in everything, which is really all comes back to we have to take responsibility and accountability for ourselves. We have to limit our time on social media, and we need to take care of us. This gets right back into self-care now. Next is that we have to focus on our beliefs, our understanding, our perception, our values, our morals, what really is near and dear to our heart. Let's focus on what is most important to us. What do we value the most? That's where we should put our energy. That's where we should put our time. Next is we need to form healthy boundaries online, not just in relationships, but online. That means saying no. No, I'm not gonna let you project your junk all over me. And no, I'm not gonna sit back and be your friend after you've criticized me and faith shamed me and after you just vomited your Bible all over me using legalism and hypocrisy. No. Instead, we're going to form boundaries, and they're going to be firm boundaries, healthy boundaries, online as well as face-to-face relationships. Next is we're going to redirect our energy. This is a perfect time. We're heading into a new month. We're going to redirect our energy and reclaim our peace of mind, our joy, our purpose, our passion, our creativity, and everything that is beautiful and good. We're going to reclaim it. We're going to focus on everything that's good and have gratitude and allow ourselves to say no to other people. It's okay to say no. It's really great and part of healthy boundaries to say no to others so you could say yes to you and your purpose and your peace of mind. Lastly, awaken and build awareness about what's going on in your life, whether it is from afar, say social media, or at the workplace, in your home life, in relationships, etc., etc. Next, move into acceptance. Whatever's not working, release it. Don't fight it, don't wrestle it, let it go. And you'll see. You will see when you stop wrestling and you stop striving to make something work and it just isn't working. It is a breath of fresh air, people. I am telling you, the weight has been lifted. The burden is gone. I am feeling so much lighter, so much happier, so much peaceful now that I've come to this wonderful epiphany that my home is no longer Facebook, and that's okay. That's okay. Next is use discernment to determine who are the emotional vampires. You know who they are. They suck the life out of you. They're negative, they're manipulative, they use gaslighting, and the new one is religious gaslighting. That's my newest word, religious gaslighting. That's when people of faith, believers, or so-called believers, try to shame us, blame us, slam us with scriptures, and try to tell us that we're not good enough, and we just need to have a little more faith. Ha! It's religious gaslighting. And you know what? You don't have to accept it. You don't have to live with that. You don't have to remain in a relationship with people who don't value you. We're going to end on a wonderful note. Gandhi has an inspiring quote. Here we go. He says, "I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet." Wow, amazing. That pretty much sums up healthy boundaries. You're not going to let someone with dirty feet walk all over your mind. Remember, words are powerful. The things people say to us, it can hurt us. That whole thing, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never harm you. Ha, they do too harm you. So surround yourself around people who lift you higher, who edify you, who speak words of kindness and empathy and compassion and love into you. Focus on what's working and give yourself respect, healthy boundaries, and love that you deserve, and speak kindly about yourself too. If you'd like more encouragement, go to danaarcuri.com. In the meanwhile, share with me, how do you feel about Facebook? Have you experienced a lot of drama, a lot of disturbances, a lot of negative energy on there? Have you left there altogether? How about family? Are you having problems with face-to-face relationships? Are you going through any kind of dysfunctional, toxic relationships that you may need to just weed out and let go and release them so you could find peace of mind? Today, I pray for you to find peace of mind, joy, and love because you deserve it. God bless.